women out there that are going through the change, because women don't want to really talk about it. They try and avoid it. People avoid it by not saying their age, by saying yes. They don't want to actually say that they've got the issues or they've got the symptoms or they've got any kind of happening with menopausal symptoms at all. They just want to bury their head. But burying their head is actually doing more damage to them because they're not being accountable for it. And if you can just be accountable and stand up and saying, yes, I am in my 50s, I am going through some change. I know that some changes are happening for me, but how can I manage that? If you don't become accountable or try and talk about it or seek some therapy or even just listen to what's out there, because there's so much information now. And I think it's wonderful that women are actually talking about it. But there are some women that just don't want to be accountable for being in their 50s or even in their 60s. And some women, through whatever is happening in their lives, start at late 30s and in their 40s. That's just the way it is. They actually go through the change earlier than in their 50s. Even when that happens, when they're in their 30s or 40s, they certainly don't want to be accountable for it because they're too young to go through that. I'm too young to go through menopause. That's impossible. It must be something else. But if you go through the symptoms and you actually think, well, maybe I am, and be accountable for it and be realistic that there is something happening to your body. You're not going crazy. And even the times that you think, oh, well, I might just get some advice, I might go to the doctors, and you find out the doctors don't have any idea. They actually don't have any advice. They will give you a prescription to help you sleep. They might give you a prescription for maybe some depression, or they might just give you some advice to go see someone about replacement therapy. But if you were to try and find more natural remedies, something that's going to align with you on a level that's conducive to how you feel, that changes can happen naturally, that changes can happen more in a deep way, more in a soulful way. And what I mean by soulful way is that you actually get benefit through seeing things in a different perspective, not just what you're going through, not just the symptoms of menopause, but a whole different outlook, a whole different perspective on why it's happening to you, how it's happening to you, and actually how you can manage it. Because when you have that different perspective of being accountable for what's going on with you and not being negative about the process of aging or the process of change, things change for you. Things actually become more happier and more joyful and more loving. And just understanding that and having that feeling within you can change so much perspective in your life. And that energy is so much more expansive through your family, with your friends, with your partner, with your husband. It changes everything. And you actually look at the symptoms in a different way. Actually, it might even just not even relate to it. You might not even think about the symptoms.